The desert was quiet. Hot winds blew over the sand like waves. Nothing moved, except one man walking alone. His name was James. He was a scavenger, looking for old alien tech buried deep in the wastelands. James wore a dusty coat and dark goggles. The sun above him was like fire. He carried a metal detector in one hand and a small water bottle in the other. His boots sank into the hot sand with every step. He had been walking for hours. His lips were dry, but then beep. Beep. The detector screamed. James stopped. His heart beat faster. He dropped to his knees and started digging with his hands. The sand was soft at first. Then suddenly, metal. His fingers hit something. Cold and hard. James wiped the sand away. A smooth surface appeared. It was a crate, large, heavy, and half-buried. It was not human-made. The edges were curved. Strange alien symbols glowed faintly on the lid. "What are you?" James whispered. Suddenly, he heard it. A sound. Tap. Tap. A voice, soft, broken, female. Unvuka. A sound. Tap. Tap. A voice, soft, broken, female. "Please. Open. I'm still alive. Please. Double." James froze. He looked around the empty desert. No one. Just him and the crate. The voice came again. "Please. Help me. Double quotes." James stepped back, confused. The crate was sealed shut, but now a light blinked on its side. A circle glowed blue. Under it, more alien writing appeared. He touched the circle. It turned green. Click. The crate opened a little and cold white gas poured out. James jumped back. Covering his nose, he waited. Watching. The gas cleared. Inside, he saw something he never expected. A girl. No, not human. Her skin was soft blue, her hair silver like the moon. She was curled up, thin and weak, wearing strange armor. Her eyes opened slowly, glowing faint purple. She looked at James. Double quotes are. "You human?" she whispered. James nodded, still shocked. "Yes. Who are you?" "I don't have time," she said. "They're coming. Please, help me out. James reached inside and pulled her gently. Her body was cold, her breathing slow. She tried to stand, but her legs gave out. He caught her. "You've been in there a long time," James said. "How long?" "I don't know, years maybe. They locked me inside when I escaped. Escaped from what?" She looked up at the sky. "Hunters." James felt a chill even in the heat. "Who are they?" But before she could answer, a loud sound echoed across the desert. Zzz. He looked up. 3 black dots moved fast in the sky. The alien girl's eyes widened in fear. "It's them." James grabbed her hand. "We need to go, now." He helped her to his rover, parked behind a dune. The vehicle was small but fast. As they climbed in, the girl clutched her side in pain. James drove fast, leaving a trail of sand behind. The black ships were getting closer. "They found me because of the crate," she said. "I'm sorry, you're in danger now." "I'll live," James said, "but you better start telling me what you are." "I'm not a soldier," she whispered. I was part of a peace mission. We were attacked, my ship crashed here. I was the only one left." "And they want you dead?" "No, they want what's inside me." James looked at her, shocked. "Inside you?" She nodded. "A code, a living one. It was implanted in me. I don't know what it does, but they think it's a weapon." The rover hit a bump, and she cried out in pain. James slowed down a bit. "Hold on, I know a safe place." The sun was lower now, casting long shadows behind them. The ships grew closer. The alien girl looked back with fear. If they catch me, they'll rip it out of me ... Even if it kills me. James looked straight ahead. Then we better make sure they don't. Asterisk. The night was silent, but her scream broke it like glass. James slammed the brakes. The rover slid to a stop in the sand, dust flying around them. The alien girl was shaking, her hands gripping her chest, eyes glowing brightly in the dark. Then silence. She collapsed in the seat. James rushed to her side. Hey, stay with me, don't close your eyes. Her skin felt colder than before. Her breathing was slow. He checked the crate's panel in the back. It was still glowing faint green. He remembered the gas, the chill inside. That thing wasn't a prison. It was keeping her alive. Now without it, she was fading. I need heat. And air and food, she whispered weakly. James didn't waste a second. He started the rover again and sped toward the nearest place he knew, his secret hideout, a half-buried bunker in the dunes. Few knew about it. Fewer returned. They reached the spot by midnight. James dragged open the rusted hatch and carried her down the ladder. Inside, the air was stale but safe. A small light bulb buzzed above. He laid her on a mat and wrapped her in a thermal blanket. He grabbed a ration pack and offered water. She sipped slowly, hands trembling. James knelt beside her. What's your name? She blinked. Liari. That's beautiful, he said. She gave a weak smile. Then her expression turned serious. You should have left me in the sand, James frowned. Why? You don't know what you've done. Before he could ask, she sat up with sudden strength. Her skin glowed again. A circle of light formed on her chest, and a small, floating hologram appeared between them. It showed a map of the stars. James stared in shock. What is that? The code, she said. It's waking up. The stars rearranged themselves. A blinking red light marked a location. Earth. James pointed. That's here. Why is it marked? Liari's voice dropped to a whisper. Because someone is coming. Flashback. Inside the crate. James looked at her again. Tell me what happened. Everything. She closed her eyes, remembering. I was running, she said. My world was already gone, burned. My people tried to fight back, but we were betrayed. I carried something important, something alive. They told me to run. I had nowhere to go, so I crashed here. Why Earth? He asked. It was far, quiet, and not part of the war. But the crate, he asked. Why lock you inside it? It was a cryopod. It kept my body alive and the code safe. But it was also a trap. If the wrong hands opened it, it would self-destruct. James remembered how close he was to pressing the wrong button. Then why didn't it? She looked at him. Because you hesitated. You listened. The crate felt your intent. It knew you weren't a killer. James was quiet for a moment, then asked, And the code? What is it really? She looked away. It's a command. It can control ancient machines, big ones. Weapon ships, maybe ... even a fleet. James sat back, his heart pounding. You mean, if someone gets it, they could wipe out planets? She nodded. Then why give it to you? Because I didn't want power. I just wanted peace. A new problem, a siren suddenly buzzed in the bunker. James checked his old radar system. 3 signals, moving fast. From the north, Liari stood weakly, her body shaking. They found me. Again, James grabbed his blaster and looked at her. No more running, he said. She looked up at him, eyes wide. You would fight for me? I opened that crate. I listened to your voice. That makes it my responsibility. Her eyes shimmered, not just with light, but with emotion. Then, without warning, her hand glowed again, and this time, a shield formed in front of the bunker door. James stepped back. What did you just do? I don't know, she said. But I think the code inside me is learning. Suspense end. Who is she really? As the ground above rumbled and shadows passed over the sand, James stared at the strange glowing girl. Standing in his bunker, She looked human in shape, alien in spirit, but something else in her presence felt ancient, powerful, and dangerous. He whispered to himself, "What did I really find out there in the sand?" Liari turned to him slowly, and, "Son, you didn't find me. I was waiting for you." They didn't knock, they never did. The sky didn't flash. There were no warning sounds, just a sudden sharp hum. A single beam of red light cut down from the stars and burned a perfect hole through the roof of the bunker. James and Liari jumped back. Dust and smoke filled the air. A drone floated down through the hole, black, round, and silent like death. Its eye glowed red. It scanned the room, then locked onto Liari. She gasped. Hunter-class. They sent a tracker. James fired. The blaster bolt hit the drone's side, but it didn't fall. It spun, releasing a shockwave that threw James across the room. Liari raised her hand and the shield activated just in time. The wave hit it and vanished into sparks. James groaned. "Okay, that thing's not playing around." "They found us faster than I thought," Liari said, helping him up. James checked the radar. "More coming, bigger ones, and not just drones." Liari's skin glowed brighter. "If they catch me, they'll extract the code." "What happens then?" "Then your planet becomes a battlefield. Escape again, or fight." James ran to the hidden garage. A second rover was parked inside, faster, stronger, built for storms. He loaded supplies. Liari followed, her steps still weak but steady. "I can't keep running," she said. "It's killing me." "You won't have to," James replied, tightening the engine cables. "We go west into the Red Canyons. I know a place no radar can reach." She looked at him, her eyes full of fear. "You're risking everything." "I already did the moment I opened that crate," he said. "Now get in." The rover blasted out of the bunker just as a second drone descended. It fired a pulse, barely missing them. The sand exploded behind. The chase had begun. The Red Canyon's ours. Later, the sun was rising. The rover entered the Red Canyon's tall, jagged walls of stone, carved by ancient winds. Shadows danced across the path. Signal jammers hid them from trackers for now. They stopped near a cliff. James helped Liari out. Her skin was glowing dimmer. She looked weak. "You need more energy," he said. She nodded. "There's a fusion cell inside the code. But I can't access it. It's locked behind emotion." "Human emotion." James blinked. "Wait, emotion?" She looked at him. "The code is not just technology. It's alive. It responds to fear, pain, hope." "Sounds like a bad movie," he said. She smiled weakly. "Maybe, but it's real." Suddenly, boom, a shockwave shook the canyon. A black alien ship appeared above them. It wasn't a drone. It was a carrier, bigger, smarter, armed. James stood up, blaster ready. "They found us again." The ship hovered overhead. A voice echoed through a speaker. "Surrender the carrier of the code. You have 60 seconds. Liari trembled. "They won't wait. If I go to them, they'll leave you alone." "No," James said. "They'll kill us both. You're not giving up." "But I'm not strong enough to fight," she said. James looked into her eyes. "Then borrow my strength." He took her hand. Her eyes widened. A surge of light passed through their hands. Her skin lit up, and suddenly, her shield grew larger. Her body straightened. She stood taller. The code was reacting to him, to emotion. She whispered, "You care." James raised his blaster. "Let's show them how much." The battle begins. Missiles rained from the ship. Liari's new shield blocked them mid-air. James fired at approaching drones, hitting one through its eye. It exploded in the air. Liari raised both hands. A wave of blue energy burst from her body. It slammed into the ship, cracking its armor. The ship roared and began charging its main cannon. James looked at her. "We've got one shot." She nodded. "Then I'll give you the aim. You give me the spark." They touched foreheads. Light exploded. The code inside Liari fully awakened. Symbols appeared on her skin. Her eyes turned silver. She floated slightly off the ground. A beam of energy blasted from her into the ship's cannon, overloading it. The ship cracked, then exploded in the sky like a dying star. Flames rained down. Silence returned. What just happened? James dropped to his knees, breathing hard. Liari fell beside him, her body dim again. Eyes closed. He held her in his arms. "You did it," he whispered. "You really did it." She opened her eyes slowly. "We did it." James smiled, but then noticed her pulse slowing. "Hey, no, don't fade now." She looked at him one last time. "The code is fully open now. But it's not finished. There's more. A signal is coming. From space." James looked up. Far above, in the clouds, a dark object moved. Something big. Something ancient. Something that had been waiting for the code to wake up. Her heart was still beating, but not her own. James pressed his ear to her chest. It was faint. Slow, not human. Liari lay in his arms, cold and glowing weakly. Her skin, once silver blue, had turned pale white. The symbols across her body were fading. She had used too much power. "Don't shut down on me," James whispered. "Not now. We're just getting started." He tore open his backpack, pulling out tools, wires, old power cells, anything. But nothing worked. Her body wasn't built for Earth's energy. Then her eyes opened. Barely. Double quotes James. "I need fusion," she said, voice like wind. "Or I die." The smuggler's market. James remembered one place, dangerous, illegal, full of thieves and killers, but it had fusion cells. He didn't wait. He carried Liari to the rover and drove fast. Across dunes, through storms, toward the Black Mountains. Behind them, the sky stayed quiet. For now, hours passed. Then finally broken towers appeared, scrap metal, old engines, junked alien tech. They had reached Red Fang Market. James parked the rover outside the gates. Loud music blasted inside. Creatures from dozens of worlds walked the dirt streets. Strange eyes turned as he entered, carrying Liari in his arms. A voice called out from the shadows. Well, look who crawled back from the dunes." James turned. It was Dax, half human, half machine, an old smuggler, with one metal arm, glowing red eye, and a voice like gravel. James didn't smile. "I need a fusion cell. Now," Dax laughed. "For her?" He looked at Liari. "She's not local." "Pretty too, looks expensive." "She's dying," James said. "Help me." Dax leaned close. "You're lucky, I have one. But nothing's free anymore." "What do you want?" Dax smiled. "A favor. From both of you." James clenched his fists. "You don't even know who she is." "Oh, I do," Dax said. "The girl with the living code. Everyone knows now." The sky lit up. The signal was heard. James went silent. Dax handed him a small glowing core. "Take it, but remember, I will call you both when it's time." One last spark back in the rover. James placed the fusion cell near Liari's chest. It clicked into the strange socket below her ribs. The effect was instant. Her back arched. Light burst from her eyes. The alien symbols returned, burning bright across her arms and face. Then silence. She blinked. Breathing. Alive. James sighed in relief. "Welcome back." She sat up slowly, dazed. "You saved me. Again. You owe me," he joked, handing her water. She smiled, but then looked at the sky. "There's something I need to tell you," she said. "The weapon above. Code inside me. It's not just a signal." James waited. "It's a key," she said. "It opens something, a machine, a weapon, hidden in space." "Above Earth?" James asked. She nodded. "My people built it in secret. Long ago, before the war. It's waiting for someone with the right signature. And now, I'm that someone." "What kind of weapon?" I don't know. I've only seen parts of it in dreams. Then we need to find it first, James said, before the enemy does. Liari looked serious. The signal I released may have already reached them. James stood. Then we move. We find that machine. But Liari hesitated. There's something else, she said. The machine needs more than a key. It needs a price. What kind of price? She looked down. Life. Suspense end. The price of power as they drove away from the smuggler's market. The sky behind them darkened. High above, in orbit, something began to wake. A long-dead satellite caught the signal. Lights flashed, metal moved. A forgotten piece of ancient technology twisting, unlocking, spinning open like a flower of steel. It was listening, waiting, and it had just heard its key. Liari held her chest and whispered, I can feel it. It's alive and calling me home. James looked at her. Then let's find it, he said, before it finds someone else. She spoke in a language no one taught her. James woke up to the sound of humming. It wasn't a machine. It was Liari. She was standing in the middle of the desert, eyes closed, arms raised. Her feet hovered slightly above the sand. Glowing lines covered her skin, moving like rivers. The cymbals pulsed, and her mouth moved, whispering words he couldn't understand. But the ground did. The sand around her rose slowly, spinning like a circle. Wind howled. James stepped outside the rover, eyes wide. Liari, what are you doing? She didn't answer. Suddenly, her voice stopped, her body dropped. James ran forward and caught her just before she hit the ground. Her eyes opened. I saw it, she said. The machine, the weapon, it's in orbit. It's waiting. For what? For me, she whispered. But not just my body. It wants my mind, my memories, my soul. The dream in the code. They sat beside a fire that night. James watched Liari stare into the flames, quiet and shaken. I wasn't just speaking a language, she said. I became it. James looked confused. What do you mean? The code inside me isn't a file. It's a living thing. It learns. It evolves. And now, it's starting to speak through me. James leaned forward. So you're becoming something else? She nodded. Maybe something I wasn't meant to be. Can you control it? I'm trying, but sometimes I'm not sure it's me anymore. A dangerous test. James brought out an old interface helmet from his tech stashes to decode alien languages. We hook this to your brain, he said. We might learn what the code really wants. Liari hesitated. It's dangerous. So, is not knowing. She nodded slowly. Then let's do it. He placed the helmet gently on her head and connected it to a monitor. He pressed the power button. The screen lit up. At first, just static. Then symbols. Strange ones. Glowing, shifting, rewriting themselves. They formed words in broken English. Ready, accessing core memory. Suddenly, Liari gasped. Her body went stiff. James saw flashes on the screen, images, too fast to understand. Explosions, planets, a child in a metal chamber, needles, voices screaming. Soldiers falling, a silver door opening. And then silence. The screen went black. The helmet powered down. James pulled it off quickly. Liari, are you okay? She opened her eyes, darker than before, not glowing, but deep, endless black. She looked straight into his eyes and said, they lied to me. The truth revealed. I wasn't born, she said slowly. I was made. James froze. Made by who? Liari stared ahead. My people created me in a lab. I was a test, a host for the living code. They needed someone who could carry it without breaking. But you're alive, you're real. I am now, she whispered. But I wasn't meant to survive. James knelt beside her. You're more than what they made you. You've saved lives, you saved mine. She smiled weakly. But then the ground shook. James grabbed his scanner. An object was entering Earth's orbit. Something's coming down, he said. Liari stood. It's the machine, the one the code is calling. The sky breaks open above them. A tear opened in the clouds. A massive shadow appeared miles wide. Spinning. Silent. A ship, no. A structure, not flying, falling, slowly descending toward Earth like a god returning home. It had no windows. No lights. Just dark metal and sharp edges. The scanner buzzed louder. Life signs? James asked. None, Liari said. It's empty, waiting. For you? She nodded. And for what's inside me? Suspense end. A voice from the sky suddenly. Liari clutched her head. A new voice echoed from above, not through sound, but inside their minds. Key recognized. Open access. Host confirmed. Liari screamed. James held her. The machine above them opened a glowing gate, and a beam of light shot toward the ground. The message was clear. It was time. Time to enter the machine. Time to face what she really was. Asterisk, no one saw it fall, but everyone felt it land. Birds stopped flying. Wind stopped blowing. The sky itself seemed to hold its breath, and in the middle of a forgotten desert, the machine touched down. It didn't crash. It arrived silent, massive, and ancient. No flames. No sound. Only a deep vibration in the earth. Like something had awakened after sleeping for 1,000 years. James and Liari stood still, staring up at the monster of metal. It rose taller than any building, shaped like a black pyramid hanging upside down, buried halfway in the sand. A single beam of light pointed at Liari. Then the voice came inside their minds again. Host identified. Gate opening. Prepare for merging. The decision. James reached for her hand. We don't have to go in. Liari didn't move. Her eyes were locked on the beam. I feel it pulling me, she said. It's not just a machine. It's alive. It knows me. Then it can wait, James said. We need to think this through. Liari shook her head. If we wait, others will come. The enemy. The same ones that destroyed my people. They'll try to take it. James looked at the ship again. And if you go in, what happens? She turned to him, tears in her eyes. I don't know. Inside the machine, they walked into the beam. Their feet lifted off the ground softly like the wind was carrying them. A doorway opened in the belly of the machine, silent, cold, empty. They stepped inside. No buttons. No screens, just smooth, dark walls alive with quiet energy. The air felt heavy, timeless. A light scanned Liari from head to toe, then a platform appeared beneath her feet. Welcome key. Begin memory integration. James stepped forward. But the voice spoke again. Unauthorized life form. Step back. Liari turned to him. It doesn't want you here. I don't care what it wants, James said. I'm not leaving you. Liari smiled softly. You're the only thing that's made me feel real. Then she kissed his forehead and stepped onto the platform. Merge. Her body floated. Her eyes turned white. A spiral of symbols appeared around her. The machine poured memories into her mind, millions of them. Generations, wars, secrets. Her scream echoed through the chamber. James tried to run to her but was thrown back by a wave of energy. He hit the wall hard, but didn't stop trying. Liari, he shouted. She opened her eyes. It's too much, it's all. It's everything. I can't hold it. Then the code inside her spoke. Final activation requires full sacrifice. Confirm? She gasped. What sacrifice? Your identity. Your body. Your soul. You will become one with the weapon. James heard it too. He shouted. Don't say yes, but Liari was silent. Tears rolled down her cheeks, and she whispered, confirm. The signal released. The machine began to shake. Energy surged through every wall, every corner. Lights exploded from the floor to the sky. The ship above Earth, still in orbit, responded. A pulse of light raced across the planet. Every device blinked. Every satellite screamed. The entire world had just been pinned. A signal had been released. The ancient weapon was online. And its target list was growing. But she was still there. Then something strange happened. Liari didn't vanish. She fell like a feather into James's arms. Alive. He caught her. Confused. I thought you said you'd be gone? She smiled weakly. So did I. But the code said, I think something changed. What? You did, she whispered. You changed me. James held her tighter. Suspense end. Too late? Far above them, in deep space, something moved. A black fleet. Silent. Cold. Watching. It heard the signal to. And now it was coming. Not for Earth. Not for war. But for her. They came without light. Without warning. Without mercy. Above Earth, the stars disappeared one by one, not because night had fallen, but because something massive was blocking them. The Black Fleet had arrived. 10 ships, each the size of a city, moving together like silent wolves through the sky. They didn't broadcast a message. They didn't ask for surrender. They were coming for her, and they were ready to burn everything to get her back. The weapon wakes inside the ancient machine. Liari stood tall. She was no longer just a girl running from her past. No longer a living crate of secrets. Now she was connected. The code no longer flowed through her. It was her. The weapon, once silent, now listened only to her voice. James stood at her side, looking at the hologram of Earth. Red dots blinked, one for each ship approaching. They're almost here, he said. I know, she replied, her voice calm but distant. Can we stop them? Liari touched the glowing panel in front of her. If I give the final command. Yes. But the weapon will fire everything. All of it. James swallowed hard. What happens to Earth? Silence. Then she said, it survives. But I won't. The final choice. The system waited. The countdown had begun. Final sequence ready. Activate. James grabbed her hand. There has to be another way. They won't stop, she said. They never stop. But we just found each other. Her fingers trembled. That's why this hurts. She turned to the machine, but it suddenly went dark. The lights flickered. The weapon shut down. James stepped back. What's happening? Then, the enemy spoke. A voice ancient, metallic, and cold filled the chamber. You are not the only key, Liari. A second figure stepped through the shadows behind them. Tall. Blue dash, skin. Wearing armor marked with the same glowing symbols as Liari, her twin. Revelation. The other host. James raised his blaster. But Liari stepped forward. Her name is Selah, she said softly. She was created after me, the second host. Selah's voice echoed. They told me you were dead. But I see now you were just weak. Liari shook her head. I escaped. I refused to become a weapon. But you are one, Selah said, stepping closer. And now we'll finish what we were built for together. James moved in front of Liari. She's not going with you. But Selah ignored him. The fleet doesn't want war. They want control. I've already linked to their systems. The weapon listens to me now. Suddenly, the machine came back online red, not blue. Command transfer accepted. The final stand. The chamber shook. A second control beam shot upward, connecting with the fleet above. They were charging a blast powerful enough to wipe out half the planet. Liari grabbed James's hand. There's still a back door, she whispered. A secret line in the code, one only I know. James nodded. Use it. But it needs 2 minds. He looked her in the eyes. Then take mine. The merge of 2. They stepped onto the platform together. Light swallowed them. Pain raced through their veins. The code began to tear them apart, but Liari held onto James's hand, and for the first time, the code didn't just follow orders. It felt them. Their fear, their hope, their love, and it chose. Override accepted. Host updated. New command. Protect. The weapon turned. Target. The Black Fleet, the end. And a beginning above Earth, the sky. Burned white. Every ship in the enemy fleet was struck by pure light, quiet, clean, final. No smoke. No fire. Only silence. Then they were gone. Destroyed. The chamber below went still. The countdown stopped. The machine powered down for good. James fell to his knees. And Liari collapsed beside him. Hey, stay with me, he said. She opened her eyes one last time. I'm sorry I dragged you into this, she whispered. You didn't, he said. I opened the crate, remember? A soft smile, and then darkness. 1 year later the desert winds blew again, and on a small hill, a marker stood. It read, she was more than a weapon. She was the one who chose peace. But deep underground inside a hidden chamber, the crate's symbols blinked once more. A voice, very faint, whispered, please, open.